Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Still here. We're still here.
So, Sam, you don't
Yes.
like any seafood?
I will eat shrimp, but it's not my first go-to. But that's the only thing I will eat that's from the sea
I'm holding in my jokes.
or from any underwater
Now you
My
body
wife-
of water.
What
I
type
love
of
it
shrimp?
when my wife eats shrimp.
kind of
Podcaster
shrimp.
shrimp.
Like you'll eat the cold
Yeah, I will.
cocktail
But
shrimp
again, it's
and
not-
fried.
It's not my preferred.
I don't
but
like
I'll eat
cocktail shrimp.
What about any sort of fish?
People
No.
go crazy for cocktail shrimp. I prefer my shrimp boiled and hot with some sort
or
of
fried.
Yeah, or fried. Well, fried, I think, out of all the shrimps, right? I think that, and this is just my opinion, I believe that out of all the shrimps, your fried shrimp is your easiest to eat shrimp.
Of course, yeah.
Because shrimp has like that sort of muscly, crunchy. It's got some
A casing type of situation.
It's got a push to it, right?
Yeah.
The meat's got some. It's not like you're eating a piece of boar's head turkey breast, right? Like
Right.
that. Just you don't even know what that is. It's like a mush, but this has got some give to it. Next up would be boiled peel and eat. Anytime you're ripping the legs off of things, that's a weird thing to be eating, right? And then I think the worst, in my opinion, are cold ass cocktail shrimp because the outside of them it tastes like an old raft. The outside of an old cold cocktail shrimp, it's got the texture of a child's blow-up inflatable beach raft. I hate the texture
It is
of
rubbery.
cocktail shrimp. I hate it. And then all you're doing is using it as a spoon for horseradish ketchup, which is cocktail sauce.
Yeah.
Why not just eat the cocktail sauce? That's what
Right.
you want. You don't want that slimy ass,
Yeah.
leather shrimp. And I like a good
Water
boiled.
roach.
Yeah, I like a good boiled shrimp. I like them tender and spicy, but I don't like a cocktail shrimp.
I feel like you have to grow up eating seafood to like seafood as an adult. Like,
I agree.
Do you get in? Okay, follow me here
I
because
agree.
I
Every Friday night, I was at a fish house from the age of 0 until 17. Every Friday. Thousands of times.
Yeah. And I feel like there is absolutely no chance my sons.
You don't go to
are-
a fish house every Friday. It's not a thing.
Well, they don't even eat meat.
You need to be more of a biker or boat dad because biker boat dads will go to a seafood restaurant every Friday.
Yeah.
I want to be. I chose the wrong grail. I chose the one that turns you not fully into a skeleton, but it's
It's a functioning skeleton.
Yeah.
I'm functioning.
Yeah.
You could still go with your family. There's plenty of things that they could eat. Well, I don't know. There's not plenty of
No,
things.
no, there's
But they
nothing.
could, pick at things.
No,
We need to expand that, right? I think most restaurants now, we're at a time now where we got enough vegetarians in the world where we just need some more options, right? I see comedian Preacher Lawson complain about this because he's vegan. I see him complain about this incessantly on TikTok. Incessantly. Like it's his life, other than comedy, his life and MMA, which he's doing that too. His life goal is to educate people that we got to get some better choices for vegans and vegetarians on restaurant menus.
I assume that if the restaurants could make money off of it, they'd be
Right.
doing it. If enough people asked, I just assume there's not enough vegans and vegetarians to make them make the change. Because they only care about money. So if
Well,
they,
we've made some strides. Even fast food has vegan options
Oh,
now.
yeah.
So
Indeed.
well,
it's slowly turning that way.
Cruise ship turn.
the the people's demand will eventually change it. But going back to seafood,
I love a seafood dinner.
there's no chance my sons, I feel like once they become adults, decide they want to try seafood and like it, and then
Depends on
become
their
seafood
personality.
eaters, right?
They could grow up and decide that they want to be adventurous in their foods. Like I didn't eat a lot as a kid. I was pretty picky, and now I eat all kinds of stuff except for pastries and seafood.
But
Pastries and seafood.
Yeah.
I'm talking let's say I'm trying to think of some of the weirder cuisines in cultures.
Sushi's
in-
pretty
or
weird.
different countries.
I tried sushi. Wasn't a
Sushi's
fan.
like the
Sushi.
most. I think sushi's the weirdest and most adopted weird. You know what I mean?
So, let's talk sushi. I've tried sushi. I like it. It's never a go-to for me. I never seek it out.
Right.
Because I feel I didn't grow up eating sushi. You know what I'm saying? It's good.
Yeah, but a
I have
lot
a
of people
palate
grew
for
up
it.
not eating sushi and they eat it as an adult because
Yeah.
if they like it, they will seek it out. So
I
you,
guess
just,
you're
you
right,
must
yeah.
not like it that much.
They're bold flavors. It's weird flavors, right? Like flavors I'd never had before. Like ponzu sauce and soy sauce, like these like
I like
I
it
feel
all.
like-
traditionally
I feel like
Asian-y.
sushi blew up within like the past 10 to 15 years. Nobody I knew growing up even knew what sushi was, but I also grew up poor, so I don't know. Did kids like 20 years ago were kids eating sushi? No,
No.
right?
When I lived in
Hell no.
DeLand, I knew what sushi was, but it wasn't like you would ever get it. That was like a quote, and then I'm showing where I'm from, but that was like
Fancy.
that's city food,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But when I came to Orlando and moved here in '94 or whatever, when I was in college or whatever, all these different
94
sushi.
in college.
Well, I graduated.
Oh my God!
Well, no, hold on a second. I graduated high school in '94.
Oh.
I guess it would have been '98. I would have graduated college, but I didn't remember. I just came to Orlando,
I know, yeah.
went to UCF, and then I dropped out. Went back later. But anyway, and like 96, 97 is when I first got here, I'm thinking. And there were a lot of sushi restaurants. One in particular that kind of was like my home base for sushi was Ichiban downtown, Orlando.
Yep.
And you would go there. It was like all the businessmen would go there. If you had a fancy meeting, you'd go there. And that's how I learned to enjoy or love sushi.
There's like some things like let's even talk about like what's the rotten cabbage the South Korean kimchi. So
I've had both very good, and I've had some that's just garbage. I
Yeah.
think when you get
That's
to like,
hit or miss.
Yeah.
and I'll try anything, and that kind of leads me into trying anything. I want my sons, and they're never going to be this way because they're not this way now. Partly because their diet's been limited because Crystal like let's let them choose to eat meat, but I'm like, well, now it seems like that was a plan that made sense when they were babies. I was like, okay, but now that I've
well, a
you know-
baby doesn't choose anything.
yeah, exactly. But
Right,
like
right.
6 to 7 years into it, I'm like, oh, well, they'll never choose now because they would have had to have been exposed to it and eaten it fairly regularly to even want to. Now it's like they don't want to, even though Tommy
right.
will eat some
But they're
bacon
in that,
and sausage.
They're in that age. Once they get older and they
And maybe
hang
they
out
just
with other
start-
kids,
yeah.
they'll
Actually,
try
we-
other stuff.
actually,
Because we
I
don't
think it's
tell them
kinda
not to.
cool.
We like eat whatever you want, but it's like, oh, of course we've indoctrinated them, or at least my wife has, to like not find meat appetizing.
well, it's just naturally, it's just not in your house, right?
Yeah,
you know, like for-
they're never
But
exposed
do they
to
see
it.
daddy eating meat?
Yeah. And it's just but they're
yeah, eating all those ding dongs.
but they're micro. Like I'm sure
Sorry,
they're
yeah.
micro influenced by my wife, who is like talking about, oh, this is the animal. Like she's constantly reminding them it's an animal, which is
She's not wrong.
yeah, because
No,
she wants
she's
them to
not.
know the truth. But if a kid, they're like, I don't want to eat an animal. It's like
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Sometimes the
Oh.
truth will stop you from eating a hot dog. I have yet to find
You
that the
ignore
truth
it.
will ever stop me. God, I love hot dogs, but I can see that. Like, okay, for video games are a relatively new thing, or were to me. I think that's why I gravitate to them now. I wasn't allowed to have like a system in my house, so I was like the late bloomer when it came. Like when I got my Genesis. I
Yeah.
mean, my friends had been rolling with this stuff for years, like I was late to the party, man. Real late to the party. And it made me feel weird because my mom was an educator and she would only allow me to have dumb games like Math Blaster and Carmen Sandiego.
Well, they're just crappy enough for you to get bored of them after a certain amount of time.
Right.
And it's like,
And it's all I had, so I definitely played
Yeah.
them because it's all I had.
and if now they're so good, that they'll never get boring.
My favorite
right?
game, and okay, my favorite
Like-
game as a kid, and I don't know if I've ever told this story, but I'm aging myself. But if you're 45 and you played games on an Apple IIc or an Apple IIe or back in the day, I was gifted. Back in the day, you could make copies of games. And I had a friend, like, it was blowing my mind that you could do that. It was against the law, but you would take a floppy disk. And if I'm remembering correctly, you would take like a little piece of silver tape over the edge because that was like almost like a VCR tape. That was the only thing copywriting protecting this floppy disk was like a hole punch through it.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
you cover that with like a little piece of like magnetic, like almost like some sort of floppy disk tape. I think it was made for this specific purpose.
Okay.
And you'd put that disk in and then you'd like the computer would copy what's on the disk and then you put a blank floppy in and you'd copy the game to it, and that's how I was getting all my games. And I'll never forget David Martin, my dad's buddy, brought me in a game. It wasn't appropriate for me, but my mom and dad didn't know. But I figured out it took me a while to figure this out. We didn't have the internet, right? Like I couldn't search what I was doing. It was a game called Taipan. And in Taipan, you were based out of Asia, Southeast Asia, and you were a pirate and you sold opium. You were an opium dealer.
Wow.
Okay.
You sold silk, opium, other crops that would have been at this time. You were a merchant. You were, like a merchant sailor.
Yeah, was it super 8-bit like
There
block?
very few,
Yeah.
8-bit graphics. It was a text game. You would type in what you wanted to do.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And
Like Oregon
you'd go to
Trail
Shanghai,
thing.
you'd go to Nagasaki, you'd go to these different places, and you'd sell your silk, and you'd save up your silk money. Start with silk, arms, different things you'd buy, and then you'd buy opium and sell your opium and get a lot of money, and then you'd have to outfit your boat with cannons. So, you put as many cannons on there as you can, because eventually these pirates would come after you, and then you'd slam the space bar to get into a fight, and then you just start shooting each other, just banging out. You're shooting holes in sails. Now, there were no graphics, but damn, it was exciting seeing if your boats were going to make it. And then you get in a storm, and it'd be like, we're in a storm, Captain. And it'd be like, we made it. And then we've been blown off course to Nagasaki. And you'd get there, and you were like, oh, damn it, you'd get there. And then the price, it'd be like, price of opium is at an all-time low, they'd say, right? And you'd dump all your silk money into it and take all that money, and then you'd sail to the next port, and if you were lucky, it would flash on the screen, the price of opium has quadrupled. And you'd be like, dump the opium! And you'd sell all your opium and get all the money and buy more cannons. It was my favorite game.
You can play it on your phone now.
Taipan?
Yep.
Oh, it was a good game.
Buy it in the App Store.
Anybody else play this game, or is it the only person playing Taipan?
I never heard of it until just now.
I want a video of you explaining this game to my sons and them getting excited, and then me showing them the game.
Because you want to do it?
They will be
they'll
horribly
hate it.
disappointed.
They'll hate it.
They'll be like, "What the hell? Words?" And then they'll be like, what is it?"
Dude, Taipan was, I mean, I can
mean,
remember.
Right? I mean, comparatively, it's god awful.
Well, it was the first game that I felt like I ever truly got addicted to. And what I mean by that is I would lay in bed at night dreaming of landing in Nagasaki when the opium prices were like 0.03.
Did you know what opium was?
I had to ask my mom and dad, and
they tell you?
and that's when they discovered what the game was. And my mom said that it was a flower that people use it's a flower that people use in a naughty way. She's putting some educator BS on it or something.
Sounds worse than it is.
You could have just said flower.
You're like, what?
Nah,
They put it in their bee.
My mom and dad were such nerds. They didn't do any drugs, like they weren't those people.
Yeah.
It just wasn't their thing. They were super nerds. So I had to do some fishing to find out what opium was. And then even as a kid, it didn't make sense to me. I was like, why are they selling opium and silk? Silk? What is that? That's for girls. You're a kid. You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But Taipan, man, I'm telling you, that game, that was where it's at. That game would make me sweat.
But again, though, even though that was the best they had at that time, it's still limited, and you would still probably get bored of it because it just doesn't hold your attention as good as they just got more. They got better and better and better, and now they're so awesome that it's hard to leave them.
Do you want a VR update?
Yeah.
All right, I went in last night for the first time where I was able to spend like an hour with the headset on. Unlike anybody else that's been texting me, I'll shout out to Pedro Lima, comedian Pedro Lima, and good friend of the show. He said I need some Excedrin because this stuff will make me sick. It didn't bother me really. And I don't wear my glasses when I do it either. I just do it normal, and it seemed to be okay. But I started like learning how to move my hands, and then I played one game where I'm like shooting a fake gun. But I'm holding the gun, but I'm holding the controller.
Yeah.
My problem with those type of games is I'm holding something, and then I'm having to hold something else. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like I'm holding the controller, so here I am holding it. The controller, I'm holding this empty Mountain Dew bottle as an example. But then I'm now supposed to go and hold something else. That messing with my mind because a couple times I would drop the controller.
Because you want to grab it.
Yeah, it's weird how I'm not there yet, but I'm getting my motions down. I started using hands only, not the controllers. I activated it so you pinch to activate things, like the Minority Report. That's pretty cool, dude. You can scroll the air and pinch it, and then I was dancing with a robot.
I'm curious you got to start looking into what the meta even is, and that like what, because I'm not even sure how people interact.
Well, now
with
we
it.
can. Apparently, there's an update that's coming out or already came out where very soon. And this guy used voice commands in his. We're using here for the studio's purposes, and the one that I have at home to learn is an Oculus 2 or Quest 2, Oculus Quest 2 or Meta Quest 2. They said now that you're going to be able to if you wanted to play like Beat Saber with your friends or something, that you can invite them to your house now, and you're going to be able to walk around their living room virtually. That's the new update. So it may be the size of like a rug, a very small space, but you should at your house be able to be invited by a friend and then beam into their area and interact with their virtual like landscape. Like, you know, the first room you look at and you can change how that looks. You can change it like Cyber City, or you can make it look
and
like
then
a
their
space station.
avatar is there.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it looks like them, and they're interacting with you. That way you have a
If
way
they
to
talk, I wonder if their avatar talks.
I don't know yet.
You know what I'm saying? Does it move its mouth and I'm sure it all will be that, right? But
I think so.
seeing the initial, like, just like that, like, that's what interests me is, like, will that trick your brain enough to have that human to human connection that we saw we needed during the pandemic, but Zoom wasn't really giving it to us. It giving us a tiny fragment of it, but I wonder.
There's no depth. This
Yes,
has
yeah.
depth. It's weird how it does trick your brain into having some sort of like, it makes you feel like you're having more of an experience than just a connection.
Yeah.
It makes you feel like you're actually in it. The thing that the reason I was watching the video is because we wanted to stream it here. We wanted to be able to stream it to the TV and then put it on Twitch for you guys to see. And I think we're going to be able to do that. I don't think it's going to be a problem. But this guy that I was watching this morning, he was using different voice commands with his to like change the background, and like hopefully they're going to open it up so you can walk the background, like you can walk all around and interact with different things that aren't even really in your space. It would be kind of cool.
Because we're all just trying to figure out how to hack our brains and bodies the most efficient way, and the lazy. Okay, for example, drinking like a non-alcoholic beer. We've talked about this before. Will, like, you take a sip of that flavor and all of a sudden you'll get some dopamine release or whatever that you used to get drinking regular beer, and it's enough to curb you wanting to have alcohol because it's so close, because your brain's like, oh, this is what I wanted or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's so, and like even with the cold immersion and the hot immersion, you're
Same
just
thing.
you're tricking
It's a trick.
your body into thinking that it needs to release whatever it released, 200,000 years ago, when we were actually just walking for months in the cold and trying to survive, right? So we're just hacking our body and stuff. And I think the VR is the beginning of hacking our because we're all social animals, right?
Sure.
We want to be, and we've seen it through the pandemic. We're all like a lot of people are affected by not being able to see each other, and there was something we needed with that, and like Zoom and stuff helped, but it gave us a like even with watching comedians or concerts or something, we needed that group camaraderie or whatever, community. And I wonder if VR's starting to get into tricking our brains into believing we're really with other humans.
Who plays the first virtual reality concert?
I think they've already done it.
Have they?
Yeah, I think they've already done it, because like according to what I've just been investigating, and I know I'm late to the party on this one, we're using a Meta Quest 2, and you can go in and subscribe to like NBA Pass, and you can like have a seat in an NBA arena and watch the game from like a virtual seat. You can
like floor seats,
Yes.
like you
unlimited floor seats, right? Imagine if you could go and watch I would watch more.
Man, I am out of the loop.
I
here.
would watch more Amway basketball if I could sit there courtside and get a virtual. It'd be way more fun. Way more fun.
Amaze VR raised $15 million to bring music fans virtual reality concerts with artists like Megan Thee Stallion. I want to go virtual reality.
Go strap that thing on, man. Go see if you can check it out. We're all going to get accounts here, so we can use this one.
Yeah.
How much do you pay for a virtual reality concert ticket?
I don't know.
I mean, less,
Right?
but,
I think less.
I mean,
it's only $2.99 to get your
One
system. So
third
if you're
the
a mom
cost.
or dad, see, I would say no, because a lot of studies have come out that say that absolutely you
Oh,
shouldn't.
right now you can watch Imagine Dragons on the Oculus.
Oh, that's cool. You absolutely shouldn't be using this until the age of 13, because they're saying that just development-wise,
bad for your eyes.
it's not even the eyes. They're saying motor skills. They're saying that people are throwing kids like Maisie's age, Tommy's
too
age,
young, yeah.
and if they use it enough, it actually will change the way that they move their body in real life, and that's a no-go.
Yes, yeah, 100%.
not doing that. So
yeah.
May already knows. We watched the little video that shows the kid playing the handheld and says like, "This is acceptable for you.
Yeah.
This is for grown-ups." And she seemed to be okay with it when she saw that. I think they have a dumbed down version at her school that she can use in bits and pieces to do stuff.
Well, I'm sure.
Like a Logitech virtual reality.
They have
Well-
one for her school because all the kids use it. They were telling me about it. So
Well, I'm sure they mentioned that because some parent will get an Oculus and then just be like, "All right, go crazy," and then some kid could be on it for
that's bad.
3 to 4 hours a day,
bad. That's bad.
every single day of their life.
Yep.
Like that could cause some horrible issue.
Well,
of, like,
something as
saying,
simple
like,
as not it changes your gait, like how you walk. You know what I mean? Or how it's weird at the study they were talking about. I'm not trying to scare people, but just
Well-
it's 13 and older.
Of course, and if it's extreme scenarios, like
Yeah.
having. I mean, Tommy and Max tried it and stuff like that. Ain't don't matter.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, trying it is one thing. I think leaning on it and using it as your but
or hours
but,
a day.
But
or,
think about it; it would be hard because that is a lot of power and a lot of fun for $2.99. I think that's a value
Yeah.
because like
I was really surprised it was that cheap.
you can't get a Switch for that. Not
No.
not the OLED one that's awesome with the added memory and it's a little snappier. You can certainly not get a PlayStation 5
Right.
or an Xbox
Xbox,
Series
yeah.
X. No way. So if
That's why I
were
was so surprised it was cheaper than those.
it would be very difficult for me as single dad or single mom to not almost if my kid asked for that, I'd be like, yeah, because I can afford that one. You know what I mean?
And me.
Hell of a price, and I think it's all propped up by Meta, right? It's all propped up by the
Yeah.
greasy Facebook money. Yuck.
We were talking about Righteous Gemstones, and
I love that show. It's my favorite show.
in the first episode, they have the kid playing the VR
In the
racing
seat.
game in the seat that moves and stuff. I'm like, whoa, that's
Yeah,
cool.
that's what rich kids have.
So basically, they're wearing VR, helmets or whatever, and then they're sitting in this seat that will move.
Yeah, it's like a roller ball. It's like a roll-on deodorant ball that you sit in,
Gotcha.
and
And
it just
it's
moves you around.
Yeah, and it's a driving game, so when you're turning, you're banking, and it's moving with you and stuff. I'm like, well, that's pretty damn close because
Yeah.
now you're getting into the VR, and they have the same stuff. Like you go to Dave and Buster's, they got the roller coaster VR and stuff like
Right.
just based on that. But if you get something like that personally for your at home,
Consumer, yeah.
I mean, imagine how fun that would be as
Well,
a kid. I mean, you'll never stop playing.
and
You
it
go
has-
race in a
Oh.
car. I mean,
I just played back in the day on Nintendo 64, you just play Mario Kart for hours.
Yeah. Hey,
With your
GoldenEye.
friends, yeah.
like
Ghost is saying they're trying to bring GoldenEye to VR, or if they haven't already on SideQuest, which is like SideQuest is like independent games that you can download and plug into your.
yeah.
I'm working on that for us too, so we can do some of the weirder video games that like independent studios are working on. It's a lot to do, but Ghost is saying in our Twitch chat room he uses the Team Valve Index, which is a different VR system, I guess, a fancier one.
Yeah.
But man, I gotta say, for an entry level, just getting into it, that little Oculus Quest 2 or Meta Quest 2, that thing's a beast. It's hardy. You know, it's like they're making it the update too, where the cameras, it's got what, 4 cameras, 6 cameras, something like that. We'll be able to map the studio ourselves using our Oculus. So I'll just be able to or any of us will be able to just kind of walk around and map it out, and then we can add furniture. We can add so listeners will be able to walk around our studio.
I also got an email from someone saying that over in Disney Springs they have something like that where I was talking about where they mapped out a room and they have actually barriers, but they turn it into something and you play some sort of VR laser tag style game, but in a room that's already mapped out and they change it or whatever. So they're already doing
It's
that
there.
kind of thing.
Yeah. What about virtual escape rooms?
Well,
See, to me,
You know what? I prefer that, so I don't have to touch all the gross stuff
Thank
that
you.
everyone else did.
yeah, that's what and you can make it anything, right?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be, okay, get this. Virtual escape room means that gone are the days of only hiding the key in the grandfather clock. You're going to be able to do anything you want now, right?
Yeah.
You
Pull
can make
a book, a door
Yeah,
open.
you can make it anything. But
Yeah.
like right now, we're locked to, you have to put the key in the grandfather clock or in the desk drawer, right?
I wonder if there's some if it's more satisfying if it's tangible, like you're touching it. I don't know.
Oh, it already exists. I mean, you know
Oh,
it
yeah.
does.
Yeah,
You know, everything does.
So
A spooky card game that's involved, Juana saying, yo, we got a lot to do. We're going to be messing around with this thing. Hopefully.
So this has got to be the start of people never leaving their house.
I don't like that.
I think that already started.
Well,
there was this thing called
now-
a pandemic that
yeah,
happened.
I don't like that. I like being outside.
What? No, but
A lot of these VR
but I mean-
guys will go outside to use their VR because it's wide open.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
A
Go
lot
in
of
a
people
big
do
field.
it. A lot of people do it
Yeah,
because
but-
you're not going to hurt anybody.
You can make the argument, are you even outside? Because you're not enjoying outside. You're still.
Well, you're getting the
You're
sun
still
on your
outside,
skin.
fresh air, baby.
You're getting the sun on your
That's
skin.
right.
You know,
Take
you're
your shoes off. Feel that grass.
stepping some ants.
Well, you're feeling the grass, but you're stepping on. It
looks like lava.
yeah.
I'm standing on the edge of the moon.
And then you could. I'm sure in the future, like when I'm an old man screaming to just go outside, stop going into meta. They're gonna, my sons are gonna be like, "We are outside, you old man. Like this is what outside is
Yeah.
now." Like,
Will we get to a point-
I'm experiencing the world digitally in a digital world. Same thing.
Will we get to a point where we'll have a room in our house that will be our interface?
Our VR room.
And
that
you
we
walk in and you put your things on. Well, that's until they implant them in your brain. But you put your goggles on and you're standing in there and you're interacting. But like if you walk outside in the metaverse, that the lights in the room or the temperature in the room increases to give you the feeling that you're standing outside, like it heats up or warms.
Yeah.
Puts
Well,
a little light on your skin.
Smells,
so you
different
can-
smells.
Well, rich
yeah.
people will have that, just like rich people have the.
No, I'm saying eventually. I'm not saying
Yeah,
next week.
yeah.
I'm saying like eventually it will all go to this, right? Because look, we're at a $299 price point. Did you ever think you'd be able to have that technology for less than $300? I didn't.
No, I mean,
Not this soon.
Well, yeah. The same thing with, like, did you ever think you have a 50-inch 4K
I
TV
did.
for $300? You know,
I always knew I'd have a big TV. That was the goal.
Well, no, but I'm saying for so cheap.
I thought it'd be thicker than it is. I thought it'd be a big boy, a thick boy,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
a projector in the back.
So I imagine that it'll all evolve to where your VR helmet is, cheap, or people like poor people have the cheap ones, rich people have the really nice ones with the integrated smell and the heat, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's more
Just like our
realistic.
phones.
Nothing's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
make
yeah.
me more
Just
mad than I go to walk outside and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't smell the grass, and I'll be like, Andrea, did you refill our artificial grass smeller?
Right.
Idiot!
You got to buy different
I'm
scents.
standing outside right now. I don't even have any goddamn grass smell.
And she's gonna be yelling, "Go actually outside!"
I'm like, no, I don't want to go outside.
Well,
I
there-
can't. My legs are big and fat and purpley.
And we ruined the grass.
We forgot to mow it.
Well, it's,
I was on the mowing simulator.
Did you go on that?
Too hot
Did
for
you-
No,
grass.
I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I want to try that one. You guys want to do some voicemails?
Yeah.
All right, let me pause.
Let's
this.
take a break real
Oh, yeah.
quick.
Oh,
Oh!
bye-bye. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Let's do some voicemail.
I love voicemails, and you can leave us voicemail messages two ways. 1-844-TOMNDAN. Call that number, lay your voice on the old answering machine, and I'll go through those once a week. And if maybe you're a little more modern, you can get our app. It's totally free. All of our content's on there, including BDM shows, OG shows from the past are on there, exclusive content. And then you can hit a little button on there called Mediocre Messages, and it will beam an email to me with a crystal clear voicemail, much like this one that was left for me yesterday. Not that. That's funky music. Hold on. Let me turn that off. More like this, which is like a voicemail message.
Hey guys, listening to ACT and you're talking about 7-Elevens, and when I was a kid, me and like two of my friends would ride our bikes up to the gas station, 7-Eleven, and we would buy like the biggest Mountain Dew we could and like extreme Ruffles. And then when we would go
Extreme.
across the street to the park, I would call my grandma on the payphone to let her know that I was at the park. And then we would go up into like the tallest tower or whatever on the like playground. And we would sit there and drink Mountain Dew and eat Ruffles.
Better time.
and we would talk about how we could live like this forever.
That's the voicemail
That
of the
was so
week.
sweet.
That's a sweet voicemail, and the way he
He
kind of
doesn't sound old enough to even like use a payphone.
I think he's a young old man, but I bet you, I'm just picturing a guy that looks really young, and I'm like, how old are you? And he's like, I'm 38 or something like
right.
that. But like that guy, the way he just told that with so much love in his heart, like it was
it kind of broke my heart because you can hear him reminiscing.
authentic. It's
of, like,
authentic, yeah.
Damn it, it used to be so much better.
That was a genuine
now you
love.
gotta be an adult.
I mean, there is a part of me that did the same thing. We would
yeah.
ride our bike up to 7-Eleven, except ours was not Mountain Dew. I am a Mountain Dew man now. There it is. I got 2 a day, every day. Can't stop it. But I was a Mellow Yellow boy back in the day. And it would be Mellow Yellow and a 2-pack of Reese Cup. The 2-pack, the standard. Orange Reese Cup 2-pack with a nice cold Mellow Yellow.
I got a Mr. Pibb and Star Crunch.
Yes, you did. That's on brand.
Right?
What was your trash snack? I had Mellow Yellow and Reese Cups. We
Or-
got Star Crunch, Dr. Pepper, Mr. Pibb.
Mr. Pibb or RC Cola Fudge Round.
Man.
I was hard
more-
on Little Debbie's.
Both of those are great.
I was more Sunkissed and Slim Jim.
Oh,
But
all of
the
these
convenience
approved.
store Little Debbie's were the gigantos.
Yeah, they're bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, in
for
fact,
25 cents.
they're
God roll.
one of my favorite
God.
cookies of all times is the Jumbo Fudge Round because it's like 3 to 4 times the
Yes.
size of regular
And it's
fudge
softer.
round. Regular Little Debbie fudge rounds that are in my daughter's lunch are about the size, maybe a little bigger than a Sacagawea quarter.
I couldn't
They're
tell
too
you the
small.
last time I had a Little Debbie.
Oh,
I gotta treat myself.
I treat myself. I am so much trashier than you guys when it comes to food. Last night was cereal night. Last night for dinner, I had peanut butter Cap'n Crunch. That was my dinner, guys.
I can't wait to tell my sons one day when they understand that when they go into 7-Eleven with me, and I'm going to tell them when I was, 7, 8, 9 or somewhere around there, I would go to the local convenience store and play arcade games
Yes.
Yeah.
inside.
Yes.
Have your
Mortal
kids ever been
Kombat.
inside of a gas station?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
You know what's funny? Is
I find that you're the parent that would let
No.
your kids sit in the air conditioning while you went and got their snacks
me.
for them.
That's me.
Oh, that's you.
I don't leave Maisie in unattended.
Right.
But if it's her and her mom, I'll go in. I think Maisie's only been into a 7-Eleven maybe twice.
I've left my
Not
sons.
so.
I know.
Every time we would stop at a gas station, we'd always want to get out.
A lot of it has to do with the pandemic. You know, like the last
Yeah.
couple years when she's been like more mobile and talking and
That makes
walking and
sense.
moving and grooving, it's like we don't really go anywhere.
No, they yell at me just to get them
Yeah.
the stuff, and then but
Maisie's like, give me a Sprite.
I'll still go old school sometimes in like gas stations, convenience stores, smoothie place. I'll leave my sons in my truck.
I like that.
You
And just lock it from the outside.
yeah, I'll leave it on.
Yeah, leave it
And-
running.
and then
in case they need to drive away.
Yeah, but you're not like leaving the key. Like you're locking the doors, right?
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, he's not locking the door.
Well, he is now. He is
I'm
now.
looking out the window. That's the thing. I could see them while I'm,
Right.
I'm standing at the counter. I look
No,
out.
you can't. You don't have your glasses on. You're aloof.
They're
It'd be
right
These
hard.
outside.
poor boys are gonna get kidnapped
No,
crazy.
it would be hard for a kidnapper to load 2 of them.
And they're like,
They got the running car right there. They just drive off with them.
Is a kidnapper go to 7-Eleven every morning at 6 a.m. and like, I'm waiting here all day until one dad goes in there and then I'm going to kidnap
No,
his
it's more
son.
like just an opportunist situation. They
Yeah, they
just
just
happen
see
to
it.
be there. They see it. Some
I'm gonna-
bum
you know
is
what?
standing outside of 7-Eleven.
I'll-
They see
I'm
2
gonna start
beautiful
doing
blonde
that.
boys, and then they're like, "Oh, I can sell these kids on the market."
I'm gonna start doing that. The only problem is like I have like severe tinted windows. I don't think
So
you
they
can-
can't
I don't
see
even think you can see that I
Maisie
have
there.
a child opportunity here for you.
I mean, when we were all kids, I remember just being left in my mom's van while she went grocery shopping.
Me too.
For hours.
I'd be in
Yeah.
my mom, and I've told this before. My mom would lock me in the Maxima, the Nissan Maxima. This is when Nissan. I remember the switch. I remember as a kid having to understand the concept that the automobile manufacturer Datsun was changing to Nissan, so it was Datsun Nissan or Nissan Datsun. I remember
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
and I
yeah, yeah.
remember having a Nissan Maxima, and I remember my dad calling it a Datsun. And my mom saying, it's a Nissan, and them fighting about it. My dad, shut up, you old bitch, or something. I don't know. Something like that.
Anytime we're in a cold area, like it's perfectly acceptable to leave your dogs in the car, as long as it's not too hot for them. Just, you know what I'm saying? But because we live in Florida and we're always,
always pretty hot.
It's been ingrained to us, don't leave your dog in the hot car.
I
you
break
know?
windows. If I see a dog in there, it could be 30
I
degrees.
constantly see dogs.
If it's
in
30
cars.
degrees, I don't
Well,
care what
well,
it is, I'll break your window.
It's only bad if it's extremely hot outside.
No, they just crack the window.
yeah, other
Yeah.
than it being hot
Even
outside,
if you
like
crack
right now.
the window, it makes it easier for me to break I break the window.
Yeah,
even then.
100%
Yeah.
it's
Like,
easier.
and you can do the same thing with your kids as long as it's not extremely hot or
Yeah.
you leave the car running.
I
or
break the
whatever.
windshield though, which is harder. I lay on your hood, I kick it in. Like an ex-girlfriend would. I lay on your hood nude like an ex-girlfriend. I kick it in. Like you cheated on me at a bowling alley or something.
I like kicking in the front windshield instead of the side.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever broken somebody's car window or had your car window broken?
No, but I peed in someone's sunroof.
We try. The only time
It's
I
harder than you think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, kicking out. You can kick it out. You can't kick it in.
But you are right. If it is rolled down just a bit, that's the
yeah.
easiest way to break a window.
Oh, kick it
Yeah,
right
yeah.
over.
um
That's why if there's a dog in there and you've rolled it down all the way, I'll roll it back up and then break it.
No, you just grab the top and you pull it out.
Oh, that's the worst.
That's
You
the
pull
easiest
you
way.
pull it right off the track.
Yeah.
I remember the time that we did the stupid radio thing where they're pulling my old car, 1993 Ford Escort.
I remember this. Is that
And-
when the children were throwing potatoes at your
yeah,
head?
yeah. And then
That's a low point.
Tuttle,
That's right.
Yeah,
The
shouldn't
children
even talk about it.
potato wars was a low point.
Well, it was, there were supposed to be tomatoes, but they started throwing Bud Lights and
Oh my God.
It was like, what was that? It was like Eddie Money was playing at the. It was like a fair. Or
At that
something.
point, it was like grab a handful of just garbage and throw it at the wall and see if any of it sticks.
So anyway, Tuttle was there, and we were inside.
Surprise, surprise.
We had like dirt bike helmets on for whatever reason, and then anyway,
Safety.
we got out, and then I was on the mic, and then I turned to Tuttle. I was like, Tuttle, ram through the driver's side window with your head.
Oh,
because he
yeah,
had to
yeah,
run-
yeah.
And then I thought it would be funny for Tuttle just to run full speed and then hit the window with his head and break it. And he ran full speed, hit the window, and it just bounced right off.
Yep.
And then started trying to headbutt it hard. Like I was standing
Yeah.
like 2 feet from him, and still couldn't break
That's
it.
how you hurt your neck.
But he was headbutting it as hard as he could, and it would not break. And then I was like, God, stronger
Well,
than I
because
thought.
it is,
Like,
yeah.
Well,
harder.
but also because you're hitting it
yeah.
blunt. You need something tiny with a lot of force behind it.
Yeah, like my wife puts on all our cars because she's paranoid of.
How many cars you got over there,
Well,
big money
well,
bag?
it
No,
looks like
but
it looks like Rick Ross's garage over there. My God,
It's all just cars lined up on the side of
all
the street.
kinds of them.
Because it's
Every
Castle
It's a whole- a
Castleberry
battery.
Carland. It's everybody's work vehicle. You're a Castleberry when you look at the driveway. I can tell you exactly what you do, and I'm not Nostradamus.
You know what? It has
Copper tone lady.
my cul-de-sac has gotten bad because my mother-in-law now, like, she's reaching the end of it, but she's
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
no redoing her
Oh,
house, the inside of her house. So there's 3 work trucks there at all times, and then with all like with my other neighbors parking on the street or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
what
mean,
a nightmare. I hate
No,
that.
they-
It's
they
like
are-
Tetris trying to get out of
Yeah,
there.
They are an active street, and that's not bad. They're living
I
life.
hate it.
It's an
Well-
active street.
well, it's not really active. It's just like we got too many cars and work trucks and garbage that we park.
Hey,
out
you're
on the
keeping
street.
America running, man. I'm not complaining. I need you. I need you in the workforce. I need you out there paying taxes and doing your due diligence and everything.
Not even be like really work cars. Like one of my neighbors have
Like a
multiple
hot rod,
roommates.
couple
like,
of race cars.
yeah.
Got a couple of race cars.
Yeah, I pull my boat out there. or
You know what I
something.
like the most is your boat and the husband and wife that have the matching slingshots. There's a
Oh my
they have a
God.
pink slingshot and a blue slingshot, and then on the back it says his and hers. And then on the front, each one of them has their last name in like what is that font that like LA street gangs would use?
Yeah.
It says like don't look too hard.
The
Don't look too hard, man. You'll break your eyeballs.
The husband and wife duo, whether it be
With motorcycles. Yes, I
the
lo-
slingshots,
Yes.
whatever it is, I look at that. I'm like, you think you're better than me? Because I'm like, I can't imagine me and my wife being into the same thing and being enthusiastic
Okay, let
about
me-
like riding our motorcycles together or
Let
whatever.
me ask you a serious biker question, biker.
Yeah.
Are you and your wife more the couple that gets she gets her own. Like she gets a Sportster and you have like, something maybe a little more custom and she rides with you because she's an independent bad bitch.
Yes.
And then you guys get those headphones, you get the microphones where you can talk to each other, or is she riding behind you with the microphones?
No, she wants her own because I would rather her ride behind me.
Me too.
And
Me too.
Be
I want Andrea to do that.
Completely dependent on me and my riding skills.
Yeah, like if
and
I
she
slide
didn't even
this
know
If it's
down-
how.
anything like your driving skills with a manual car, I would not sit on the back of that thing either.
He drives a motorcycle much like Bruno did when Bruno adopted the black baby and pulled out in front of traffic and almost died. You remember that scene? It's the best scene in Bruno. The movie Bruno is when he's adopting the baby and he puts it in a pouch on his front and he gets on a scooter.
I don't think I ever
Oh,
watched
okay.
that.
And that's a good movie. It's a
Um,
solid movie. I too would like my wife to be behind me while I'm riding a motorcycle. Mine maybe a little different reason. I would like it so if I do slide under anything, she's sliding with me. Just think that's a better way to go.
Oh, okay, yeah. My wife is too independent. She doesn't like depending on me.
Now I look down on if I'm in traffic and I see a husband and wife pull up next to me and the lady's on her own motorcycle, I look down on the man.
Yes, yeah. Because it's like what have you done?
Yeah,
Like,
you let her have her own bike. What's that?
Yeah,
What are you
yeah.
doing? Man? What are you trying to do? What are you doing?
Yeah. Like, we'll open up that satchel. There's a spoon in there. But I'm not. Yeah,
I do.
Crystal wanted. Remember
I
when
look-
Crystal got her endorsement?
And she
got it
instantly
with
went out and bought
Andrea.
a chopper. She
no,
bought a chopper.
she wanted her own motorcycle.
She bought one, I thought. She
No.
was going through the Craigslist like a crazy woman.
No, she was going through Craigslist, and then I went to. I remember I told you
I know
this.
you're tucking your gun in your boxers, and he's going out and visiting these old cave people that own these Japanese choppers. They were all
No.
like little 750,
Yeah,
little
Honda,
little
like,
Hondas, and little
She liked. But we were just talking about this, like the
like
bike,
a CB 750 or something like that.
those flat, 1970 style Honda. Yeah, the 750s.
You got the banana seat, like the old cafe racer style.
Yeah. And then she was like, "I want one of these," because she was, and I would tell her, I was like, "They're old, so they're not like what you were."
Why are you killing her dreams?
No, but you took your endorsement on some like 2000
A Buell.
or like
A Buell Blast.
2013 Buell. That was the time she did it. But like, and those are like the most modern technology. It's like
It's all digital bike.
you get some older bike. I mean, it's like riding a death trap, like Samantha's old truck. I'm saying, like when I got in that thing, I was like, "Oh my god!"
Oh, you mean the one we're about to sell on auction for
Yeah,
charity
but
for
we
Yellow
fixed
Brick
it.
Road Foundation?
It's a death trap.
We fixed it since then. In fact, it's been fixed so well that Yellow Brick's actually thinking about using it as one of the wagons. It's in such good condition.
Like you get in an old Willys Jeep, and you're like, "Oh my god, you went to war!" This thing, if you hit a tree, you'd be killed.
Tactical Hat says to buy his bike. You have a motorcycle? I didn't know Tactical had a motorcycle. I've got motorcycle fever right
He'll
now.
trade you for the fog machine.
Where is the fog machine? Do I have
You have to.
think
It's
so.
your
Oh
my
responsibility.
God. I think
now.
I gave it away.
Who'd you give it to?
I don't remember.
Well, that's worse than me. You're a worse person than I am. I'm the good one.
Okay.
You gave away Tactical Hat's fog.
I think Andrea kept it somewhere. She probably packed it up. It's probably organized and clean.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the house.
Oh.
I wanted to get it out for Christmas and do Spooky Christmas, but Andrea wouldn't let me do that. Let me get another voicemail for you. Let's try this one. I'm glad that we're getting a lot of chirpers that are chiming in. Chirp
course.
chimers.
Hey guys, this is Sean from Vegas. I caught myself chirping at the gas station attendant. She saw some people sleeping, what she thought was sleeping in a car in the parking lot, and she was like, "Why would they do that?" Started talking about homeless people, and I said, "Do you ever look at places when you go around and think like, oh, if I was homeless, I'd choose this overpass or this overpass?"
By the way, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
There isn't a day. That's the only thing true in my life that's like true and resolute, that happens every day.
Yeah.
Is that I look around my surroundings and I go, well, if it all goes to S, you can live under that tree or you can sleep under that box. It's weird.
That
She
is
was
weird.
like, "Oh no, the good Lord will save you. He'll never let you be in that position. Don't even think like that." And I'm like, "Well, he tried to do it to me once before. I'm not pretty sure he'll do it again." But it got me wondering, like, do you guys ever do that? Do you ever
Yes.
look at places around, like, and think, "Oh, if I was homeless, I'd definitely live behind the, Crab Shack Joe's or whatever. Like, is this in the
Don't
past?
live behind the crab shack.
No, Sam
Stinkiest.
wouldn't. Sam hates seafood.
So stinky.
Why would you put Jews?
God.
That is a-
Crab Shack Joe's.
My God, man. Go behind a Popeyes or something.
I also like how he got the name wrong. It's Joe's Crab Shack, but I like it better as Crab Shack Joe's.
I want to live behind the dumpster that throws seafood in.
Oh,
You chose poorly.
We're moving, family. Guys, pack your things. We're moving to the promised land. There's a tampon factory down the road. We're gonna live there. Like, why would you pick the weirdest place? You know, actually, tampon factory, if they're unused, wouldn't be that bad.
So
Cushy.
So that thing that you have, other people must have.
I'll think that, but it's not like I fantasize about being homeless.
Well, it's a feeling. I put it in the same category as, like, all of our neighbors here that have these workspaces, much like ours, they're all kind of set up the same. If I were walking down the street one day and everything's locked up, and then like one of their offices the door was wide open, right? Mm-hmm. The same feeling I get is of me, like it would be very difficult for me not to walk over there. And if I walked in, like, I'm going to call the cops or notify the people. But for a split second, I'm going to walk around in there.
Pretend like you live there.
Well, not pretend that I live there. It just gives me this feeling of, like, I don't know what it is. Like, I'm the only one here. I'm the only one that knows this. This is unique to me. Like, I don't know. It spikes some sort of...
Oh, you should do, what is
something
that
in
thing
my
called where you
brain.
go and visit abandoned places?
I want to.
What is it, urban exploration?
Yeah,
right?
like-
Urban exploration?
Yeah. Well, a lot of it's outlawed because, you know...
Yeah,
you,
I mean, a lot
you
of
go
it
up in
you're
the
not-
I-4
A lot of it's
next-
trespassing.
Yeah, you're getting tased.
But it's
and-
fun, right?
Yeah,
You ever
I
watch
just-
those videos?
There's like a naughtiness to those that I like. There's like that same vibe is with when this guy's talking about like me homeless under a, like, there's
you got
something...
a homeless kink.
I think I do. There's something about, like, if I'm standing like there's like under an overpass, like if you look all the way up, there's a part
Yes.
that's super
Yep,
dark.
and it flattens.
Yeah,
I've
flattens
been
out
up.
of
Have
that.
you never
That's
been up
where
on
you
one
live.
of those?
I haven't. And
Oh, it's great.
I look at them all the time. I'm like, that is where you're going to finish out your life. That's it. That's where you're going. And there's something pleasing about a tiny space that's not really mine, but it serves a purpose. It keeps me dry, and it's mine, and it's tiny, and it's like kind of naughty. I shouldn't be there. I don't know. I'm trying to describe it and trying to vocalize it for you. Maybe I just can't articulate the kink.
I wonder, when you wake up in the middle of the night on that thing, do you go all the way down to pee-pee? Or
No,
do
you let it
pee-pee
roll
up there?
down.
Yeah, somewhere.
Oh no, it's way more fun to watch your pee-pee go down the
yeah.
slope.
Yeah, but then
But
it's
don't
like
do it when it's
stinking,
humid
like
or it won't
urine.
dry.
Well, you walk to the side, the furthest
Oh,
corner.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Do you roll down that thing?
Not
For
the
fun?
concrete part, but the grass part.
You
yes.
go down to poo, right? You walk
Yeah,
down
you
to
have
poo
to,
and
yeah.
away.
Where
Away.
do you go? In the
poo?
woods. You have to go to the woods.
I wouldn't poo in the woods because that's a good way to get yourself in trouble. I would try to go to I'd look my best and try to go to slip into a bathroom or something.
7-Eleven or something.
Or if your truck was unlocked, I wouldn't disturb your sons while you're at the smoothie place, but I'd just poop in the back of your truck.
Do gas station employees and 7-Eleven employees, do they tell the homeless people, if they see
certain ones will have the signs that say customers only. So you have to buy something to use their bathroom.
Our ladies run a tight ship at my 7-Eleven. I think they've had kind conversations with any of the homeless people that are regulars, and they don't come inside anymore.
Yeah, because they don't want them panhandling in front
No.
of the business.
Right.
They get
don't
mad
like-
about that.
But they're nice. They're really nice to them, and if they have extra stuff, they will bring it out to them. Like if a taquito, looks a little off, or you know what I
Been
mean?
on the roller too long.
Yeah, they're nice to them, but they just it's almost like it's known. It's like, hey, if you want to chill here, you got to be around the back area. You can't be in the front, and you can't go inside.
Yeah.
It seems known.
I feel like you remember we talked to Big Tim. There's some woods homeless people.
Yeah.
I'm more of a woods homeless person. I don't want to be.
But then you got to build a shelter
Yeah.
unless you have a tent.
They're gonna be wet.
Oh, I can get a tent of some sort.
How?
You're
homeless.
Well,
You can't get a tent. Tent is the number one.
I mean, you can
thing.
panhandle, and tents are, unless you get a cheapo, they're fairly expensive.
Well, tent is the
I'm sure
number
there's-
one thing that punk ass kids are gonna stomp when they
Yep.
see it in the woods. And I ain't
100%.
doing tent.
100%.
I'm a little homeless man in my right. I'm little, 155-pound little homeless man. They'll beat me senseless. I got to find a place that's concrete that they can't destroy or burn or pee on or Because they're just going to be mean to the homeless because they're just mean, horrible little
Nah,
rats.
Teens are weak nowadays. They
think
don't.
so?
They don't stomp your homeless people's
Wait
tents
till they
like,
put their Oculus on. I'll
They-
punch them in the face.
like they used to do in the 80s. I don't think they're not going out there in the woods.
All
their,
right.
their parents have.
You
So I'm harder.
underestimate trash kids.
I'm harder than young Oculus teens. I think I can beat up a bunch of Oculus teens. I'm harder than they are. I think I am.
Their parents have scared them into not wanting to go into the woods because they're like, you'll get murdered in there. You know, like my mom never told me that. They just walking
My
in the
parents
woods all
would tell me to go in the woods. My mom's like,
Yeah.
go play in the woods.
yeah.
And I would. It was
yeah.
awesome. I loved it.
Now it's stay away from the woods. You'll get murdered in there. And so the teens will stay away from the woods.
Here's our hot take voicemail of the week.
All right, just 2 quick points of contention here, guys. One, I know this is never going to change, but Tom, you pronounce eggs like it's spelled A-G-G-S, not eggs. And also, Dan and Sam keep telling me to stop yucking on other people's yum. Look, this is my yucks. I can dispense them wherever I feel like it, okay? Don't yuck on my yucks. How about that?
Okay.
So do I say
You say eggs.
Eggs.
Yeah. We all have something we say weird. It's
Eggs.
fine.
So if you
Eggs.
go to
Eggs.
another Broken Egg Cafe and you say, I'll have like 4 egg omelet.
yeah.
Is that how you say it? I don't think he says eggs.
He says eggs.
eggs.
Yeah. I mean,
Eggs.
I'm not very
Eggs.
good with words. I don't know if you noticed that.
Say, I want you to say something. I want you to say, I got my eggs at Disney.
I got my eggs at Disney.
I got my eggs at Disney.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I know what you meant.
You know, yeah, that's all you need, right?
I knew what you meant. So I think that's the whole point is to be a little more positive,
Right.
right?
So when we're saying don't yuck on someone's yum, we're like, stop being a hater.
Yeah.
We'll stop hating on your hate. You can just be as hateful as you want.
Yeah, if you want to be negative, I guess that's fine. I just not fun. Here's one about VR safety. I know this is a hot topic on the show.
Hey guys, I'm listening to Monday's BDM show. This is Chris, new BDM. Man, the Oculus, it's awesome. The reason why you see them old guys running into walls and their TVs and everything else is because they take that border that Tom was talking about. Is you could do a standard border that's like 2 feet around you and you can't really move. But then you can also draw your border, and people will draw their border right up against the edge of their TVs and their walls, and not realizing that the border is supposed to be safety. So you're supposed to leave like 2 feet away from the walls, and then they go plowing into them or whatever. But, you know, Tom, them sex helmets, I know you're ready for them, but, man, you go put on some VR porn and feel like you're cheating on your wife, buddy. All right, love you guys.
Well, that's what I want. That's what everybody wants, right?
That's kind of what I
I mean,
want.
not to cheat on your wife in real life, you know,
no.
Fake
but
cheat.
to get the same
It's a
experience
role play.
without.
It's a role
yeah.
play.
Yeah, without.
Good role play with your wife.
I'm no.
Oh, yeah,
Well, that's
yeah.
the
Oh,
same
yeah.
old wife. I want to role play as
Yeah,
if I'm
yeah.
cheating on my wife, but I'm not cheating on my wife.
Yeah, again, it's just we're satisfying some urge that we have deep inside that is
Yes.
just it's evolutionary, right? Like we are animals, we were meant to
Yes.
go out there and bang as much as we can to
We were.
spread our seed. But we live
Exactly.
in,
And eventually I will be
civilized-
homeless under a bridge, cheating on my wife with a VR set.
That's all you have is the VR set.
all I just the clothes on my back
You go
and
charge it at a Wawa.
and my VR set. Yeah, just like people do with their Teslas. I'll be in there. I'll have my little charger on that metal plug. You have to flip the top up to plug in your cell phone. I see homeless people do that.
So what will be better? Let's talk about this. Will the VR get closer and closer to realistic to the point where people prefer that,
No.
or will the basically the sex dolls become more robotic and people want them? It's harder to put the sex doll, like at least with the VR, like once you turn it off, it's in like the digital universe.
Yeah,
So
it's easier
the
to
sex
hide
doll,
my-
you're pulling your firefighter
You know how hard it
pulling
is to
it.
put that in the closet.
You're putting it in a
Yeah.
bag, and you're
Yeah.
shamed after. You're like, oh God,
You
no.
need to have time.
You have to wash it off.
You need to have time to rinse it out before your mom
Just-
came over, and your mom wants to go over to El Diablo's for tacos.
Just sit in the garage next to the French witch.
So
Ed,
no, but you don't want to see. I don't want my wife to see it.
You're gonna have to spray it out, hanging on us. It's gonna have all kinds of special things, right? You gotta spray it out, hanging on this
let it
thing.
air out.
So that will be the most realistic, but no one wants to deal with that. It'll go VR, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
It's just easier that way.
yeah. But
In the
you're-
VR, all you got to do is slam dunk your pajama pants in the laundry.
yeah. But you're not getting the similar
It's not the
experience
same.
because it's just your
Yeah.
your hands, and then your brain is getting a lot more. Though
I will not give any hints. I will not share any links. I will not share any knowledge that I gain. But I have a listener that knows all about this. I have a listener. I told you about it. That is guiding me into the. I'm talking behind the scenes.
What?
Good VR adult website. I got 'em.
Oh, really?
I got them.
You already found it?
Nope. I
Oh.
didn't find it. I had somebody that does this
Oh.
said, "Hey, on the DL, if you need to know where you're not just going on PornMD or whatever and searching VR. Come on, anybody can do that, right?"
Well, I mean, we're right.
This guy, no, there are specific websites where the companies film the content specifically for the headset. That's what you want.
Yeah, well, it's easy to find. You just search Google VR porn on
No,
Google.
no,
It'll be there. It's not
No.
like he's finding some secret.
He's found the secret.
Google has a secret.
No.
Yeah, there's no secret.
no.
There's no more secrets.
Oh, I'll show you the secret.
I mean, Samantha, search VR porn.
No, it's not. But
No?
I'm telling you, all the ones that are listed are basically just a movie you watch. This is a guide to like what all the things that you need, the steps to take to have the best VR experience with videos that you can't even find online.
Well, are they selling them? Is it? I mean, it's
Yeah.
for profit. Okay.
But it's like these people have already curated the right stuff, is what I mean. It's
Yeah,
not
the
just like
curation of it is
Right.
I'm on
definitely.
VRbangers.com.
That's not
I
it.
got to say that I agree
See.
that I'm 18 and older.
So, have you tried it yet?
No.
Okay,
Haven't
well-
had time.
Well,
Not that part.
All right.
I danced with a robot though. He held my hands. I held a robot's hands. I can't wait to see Tom hold the
This
robot's
claims
hands.
to be world's best virtual reality porn site.
Yeah, but I think they just copyrighted the phrase "world's best virtual reality porn site"
could be.
But
because it's like TM.
well, the key is it's specifically for VR,
Right.
and not just the regular footage or just watching through the VR.
Correct.
But yeah, I mean that seems like where it's going. I'm interested to see when you try it how much better it is. That's the
Then
thing.
I don't think it will be better, right? Because of all the pomp and circumstance of setting it up, putting it on, going to the thing, firing it up, finding the site.
Well, if if it's 25% better, like that's worth it.
Right.
You know,
Okay, I
like
see what you're
it's all
saying.
incremental. So you just you'll know, and you'll report back to me.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
And then,
Unless you get there first. I mean,
no, I can't.
why don't are you allowed to take the Studio One home?
Yeah, but listen, I can do what I want.
Oh,
no one's
hey,
telling me what to do. I
do
can
not
do whatever I
believe
want.
that.
I have to use it in my pool shed.
Don't.
Tiny.
That's sad. don't
with
do
the
that.
seeds.
Don't go to the pool shed.
Yeah,
That's sad.
I have to hide. From,
But I'm sure there are.
But I'll do what I want.
I mean, you don't want to. I mean, like, it's the same way in my house. I can't use it while Maisie's up because she's like, "Let me try it. Let me." It's a pain in the
well,
ass.
my
I'm not
son
doing
see
that.
it.
I'm not
then,
doing that.
Yeah, and then after that,
It has to be after my wife goes to bed. I have to be alone. I need to go to the overpass.
Man, this is a hassle.
I gotta
isn't
go.
it?
I gotta.
That's an asshole. That's why I haven't even used mine, and I'm mad about it.
I need your permission, and I need your permission for me to be able to come here in the bathroom and try VR porn.
You gotta clean up. I don't want to
Oh,
walk
of
into
course,
any
I'm not
of
gonna.
that.
Can't tell.
I'm not gonna give it the
No.
concrete mic where I just go everywhere.
You can't say anything. You just do it. Don't ask.
I feel more comfortable at least getting permission.
No, because then
What if you come here in the middle of the night because I don't know?
I'm never gonna come here in the
I gotta
middle
put
of the
water
night.
in the fish tank.
I'll never do that. Just know I'll never show up.
Well, I've
always,
already asked for permission now, and you already gave it, so just know that I'm gonna do that.
By the way, and everybody should do this. If you show up anywhere unexpectedly, always expect that whatever's happening inside the place you
Is
showed up
bad.
is bad. So
Yeah.
you should make as much noise, give someone the heads up. Like never slam open a door and be like, hey,
What's going on in here?
yeah, because, you're never gonna see what you've seen, and why put yourself through that? I'm just saying.
Right.
Um,
Let me find another voicemail.
my wife's
message.
done that, which
Well, she constantly thinks you're cheating on her.
Oh, Andrea does that. I'll be
No, well,
I'll be laying in the bed when I had Corona and I was laying in the bed. My wife, I'd be laying there like fever and like passing out, and she'd be like, "What are you doing in here?" I open the door, I'm like, "What the f, dude? What are you doing?"
yeah, like what? Like if I was
I
doing
think
something,
she thought I was in there like blasting or something.
but why was she scared? Yeah,
I don't
just-
know.
like,
Like she
I-
did that. Ask her about it. I yelled at her. I'm like, "Get the hell out of here!" You
Like-
scared the crap out of me.
Some days when I get here earlier than I usually do, I'll put the wrong coat on purpose, so
Aw,
it gives you.
you know
Look at
what?
this guy.
Gives you 30
I'm
seconds.
not doing anything, but I
I
wish,
just
yeah.
assume you
I
are. Yeah,
appreciate
like
that.
I don't want to see whatever he's doing in there.
No. Well, normally I'm just sitting in here,
Like-
just, I don't know,
Yeah.
listen to music or something.
But that's when it's good to always expect the worst. Because why?
Like Sam's never gonna walk in on that because she's always gonna accept, be paranoid of like whatever's going on in there is horrifying.
Yeah.
Yes.
There is an advantage to being paranoid. You won't see some things you can't unsee
Like
sometimes.
Sam every morning gives me the best greeting, and I love it. I've grown to love it. Like I'll go like, "Hey, good morning. How are you?" And she'll be like, "I don't know. How are you?" It's like very much like,
Suspicious.
like yeah, it's like I don't know. Are you the
What's
real
going
Danny?
on
And then when I get that, I'm like, oh, we're gonna have a good day because we're all like,
Yeah.
doing our normal thing. Let's try this one. I think this is pretty interesting. And Sam, you might want to surf this one when the guy drops
Okay.
the URL.
Hey, Tom and Dan. So I saw a commercial on the television the other day, and it got me thinking of Mr. Van. It is a website called healthywager.com. But the program, they call it Healthy Wage because they want you confused, I'm sure. But in this scam, you give them money betting on yourself to lose a certain amount of weight in a certain amount of time. And then they will pay you out if you hit those goals. So see what we can do with Norm.
Oh,
Wow.
I didn't wait till the end. I'm sorry, Norm. I did not vet that. I apologize.
This
That
is
was-
Jillian Michaels' scam.
I
like
it's her
this.
thing.
Yeah, I like this. I like this.
Because-
It sounds a little. It sounds like this is going to get a lot of blowback too.
Well,
like I
you
like
get
this.
cash prizes. Oh, she's been on that list for a while.
Oh yeah.
People-
Now-
maybe she just doesn't
hate
care
her.
anymore, right?
Now,
Yeah.
before
Probably not.
she takes too much hate, this is exactly what insurance companies do,
Yep.
and this is how gambling works. Or it's like this is what bookies do and everything. They are just playing the percentages, right? So, they're saying, all right, give us $500 and we'll give you back the money when you hit your goals. And if you hit your ultimate goal, we'll give you even more, right?
Well, what is it?
Because they're betting on the person failing because they know a person, over 50%
Yes.
of people fail their weight loss goals, right?
Are there people right
And it's-
now that are good at weight loss that are doing this for extra cash as a scam?
Yeah, well, just like if you're good at gambling, you do it for extra cash, but it doesn't matter because the majority are bad.
Right.
Correct,
And that's how they're going to make their nuts.
so
How
you-
do they prove? How did they prove
I'm
that
sure
you
they-
lost
you
weight?
have to take
or
a
not?
picture,
Yeah.
or
Yeah, but anyone can fake a
Maybe you have to
picture.
go to a place and have a doctor sign off on your weight officially, or have it notarized or something. Who knows?
I'm sure even with a picture and some you could probably scam it, but again, just like everything, that's a write-off. Like there's a certain amount of theft at Home Depot. They write off $1 million a year, and what they can make it safer, but what it doesn't matter. It's more expensive to make it stop the thieves than it is just to accept. All right, I'm going to lose $1 million. So I'm sure with all these things, they're like, all right, same thing with insurance. I'm going to have a certain amount of scammers, but for the most part, most people will pay me more than I will pay them. And that's all it's about. But it is kind of, I guess, essy to you're not preying on, but you
kinda
that
are.
people are going to fail,
Yeah.
and you're betting on it.
I like
and they give you-
here's the sell.
Well,
right?
then you could go into saying that gyms know that people are going
Yes,
to
yeah,
sign
of
up. I
course.
mean,
it's insurance.
they know.
yeah.
The insurance
Any
knows.
kind of diet plan.
I'm sorry, Sam. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No,
What-
it's fine. It says Healthy Wage makes money from corporate and government clients who are interested in creative solutions to weight loss. In addition, although financial incentives are great weight loss tools, people sometimes lose the weight loss bet. The question is, will Healthy Wage make money from you, or will you make money from Healthy Wage?
Yeah.
All right.
They're saying bet on yourself, and they know you're gonna fail.
Bet on
It's
yourself, you
brilliant.
big fat idiot.
It's I mean, like I said, it's the same thing.
And then we all sit there. I look at
Casinos-
that. I'm like, I will bet on myself. I'm not a big fat idiot, but I am.
I mean, look at the casino industry. Like it is literally you cannot win. But people do every once in a while, and that's what keeps them in there. But it's like they know, hey, everything is skewed towards we will have at least
Norm wants us
51%.
to sponsor him for this.
I'll do it.
And make him some money.
Let's do it.
Or
How
I guess we can make money off Norm.
How little can
Hold
you
on.
put in?
Well, I want to bet against them. That's the problem. Like, like betting for him is a bad bet. I know gambling. Like
I also know fat people pretty well, and they don't like losing weight.
and that's not. I'm not betting against Norm. I'm just betting against the odds that have presented themselves
Yeah.
over time. Human beings have a hard time losing weight.
Oh, it's tough.
Myself included.
Everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
And
I've never been able to accurately do
Yeah.
it.
I'll bet on people gaining weight, like because that's a better bet. Anyway.
All right, let's try this one. I'll try to burn a couple before we get out of here.
Hey guys, Hilton Head BDM here. On the recent Friday Free Show, you were joking about cremation and with the dog and the animals, how they probably just throw dirt in there and stuff like that. As funny as that is, it's not true. I worked for a while at a
Well, it is for most of them. Just because you did it right doesn't mean that most places that cremate dogs, they're just normally they just throw whatever trash they have around the studio.
For sure, what we said has happened and still
Yes.
happens.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's a
It's
lot.
happened with human
yeah.
beings, by the way. But remember that was a whole
Yeah, here in
scandal
town.
where they were taking people's ashes and like mixing them up and then not just throwing whatever like other people's ashes.
Yeah. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Just don't show it to me. You know what I mean? Don't tell me you're
Yeah.
doing it, but whatever you put in there is your business. I don't care. My dad's dead. My mom's dead. I don't give a damn.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
need their ashes. I'll bring them back. But that's just me. I know a lot of people are more connected to it. Personally, I don't want my parents' ashes. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, that's a horrible thing to say, Daniel. And let me pose this question to you. What can I do with them?
Yeah.
All it is something that I can't get rid
Of
of.
course.
And if I do get rid of them, I'm an a-hole.
The truth is
I don't want this spooky. It's spooky.
The reality is, it doesn't matter what ashes are in the box
No.
that you think it's your grandma
Yes.
or whatever. And that's the reality. It doesn't matter. I understand it does to people, and they want that to be the
Doesn't to me.
But what does it make? Like, what does it make a difference? Right?
That's why I went for that cheap box. Oh man, they wanted me to buy an actual Harley Davidson big V-twin engine that had been hollowed out that I could stuff my dad in one of the cylinders.
Yeah.
How much was that?
Oh my god, I think it was like $4,000, like $4,200 or something.
Yeah.
It was insane. It was more expensive than the actual Harley engine. I could have bought an S&S, a real S&S engine, for less money than the.
That's such a scam. God damn it. Give me the Folgers can.
I know, right? It's
That
funny.
get you.
a funeral place, and we cremated humans, and this place actually did animals as well. So we would pick up, I mean, everything, man. Gerbils, dogs,
No.
snakes.
No.
I mean, you wouldn't even think, but these people cared about all these pets, and so you would have to cremate them. And no, you would just put them in the cremation oven like a human. And then you just turn that bad boy on, blast them to ashes, and then you scrape them out. And some of your bones don't char, humans and animals. So after you're done in the cremator in the oven,
You run it through a Ninja blender.
Yeah, I think it's
God
something
damn
like
it.
Yeah,
that.
I think you toss it in the old Ninja Foodie.
Who's
and,
cremating their snake? Like, seriously?
Somebody.
Well, the
Somebody.
answer is all of Daytona Beach.
No, but,
Every
like,
person
their
in
gerbil-
Daytona would cremate a snake.
Like, are you taking your gerbil and to a place and having it cremated?
Couldn't you
and then
just
pick
put
up
it in
the
an
ash?
envelope and mail it to them? I'm not driving it by. That's a long drive.
It seems pretty ridiculous.
That's
right?
not a lot of ashes. What do you do with a gerbil you cremate? You put it in a ring and you wear it, or a
Yes.
necklace or something,
Yeah.
right?
A little necklace. Yeah.
Yeah, a little gerbil necklace with this little dead gerbil ashes in there.
Do people still bury their pets in their backyards?
Yes.
But I'm not talking about like if you live out in
I
Geneva or
can't.
something.
I don't have a yard, so I just throw my animals in the street when they die.
I'm talking about like if you have a regular, 3-2 Florida home, like with a
Yes.
small
Like I
backyard.
grew up in.
Yeah, did you bury?
Yes, we did.
That
Yes.
happens.
We did.
Oh, yeah.
So it hasn't changed in 20 years. My dad would dig a hole, and then he'd beat the animal a couple times with a shovel to make sure it's dead. And he'd put it in the hole and cover it up. And then if it rained, he'd make sure it was deep, so when it rained, you didn't see your dog floating down the sidewalk.
I haven't been to a house that has like a gravestone or anything in the backyard in a long time.
Yeah, we don't
Right.
know many cowboys.
Well, I'm saying, if it did still happen, you would think you'd see more.
We didn't
like,
mark
what's
it.
that?
We never marked them. We'd bury
Oh.
them.
How many people's houses have you been to in the past 5 years?
I don't know, like with all my friends and some BDMs and
You know
like,
what I
some
wanna
people's
start doing?
houses. I just never noticed.
Tactical
Like,
Hat says he's got 2 cats in the back right now.
You know what I want to start
Is there a
doing?
gravestone
You know what
or
we
what?
need to start doing, and it started here first. We need to start burying our families at our homes like cowboys used to do.
Canadian Josh has 2 cats and 2 gerbils.
I
Yeah, people
want-
still do this.
I want a hill that I can walk to, like any cowboy movie, where I can go pay my respects to my wife that was murdered by the revenuers. I walk up there, and there's a gravestone, and I sit there, take my hat off, one knee down.
Yeah, this happens in Yellowstone, by the way.
Cliche garbage. If you're
Yeah.
watching Yellowstone and this is in there, then
Well,
you're a garbage
the
person.
rioting is
One tear
suspect.
lands on the gravestone, and then I
Yeah.
vow to get my revenge. But
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah.
I'm too tired. So I go run my Oculus. This is more fun.
Bye-bye. If you haven't been to the Orange County Library System website, OCL...
His brain just stopped.
We're still recording on Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
And
got
I
to
said,
see
I
it.
was like, duh.
You're the one that said stay on Twitch.
Let's do it live.